Measures for those arriving in Australia will be applied by midnight tomorrow. Patricia Madronio from our EBC Australian Bureau joins us live. Patricia, how are you?
Thank you, Alma. I'm very well, thanks. So for our latest updates for the COVID-19 situation here in Australia, as of 2:15 today, the confirmed COVID-19 cases in Australia exceed 3,000. New South Wales has now been identified to have hotspots, with total cases now approaching 1,400. The states of Victoria and Queensland have now also reported more than 500 cases respectively. And the reported deaths are now 13, with Queensland experiencing its first virus-related death this week. As for cases of recovery, there have been 118 reported since yesterday, and further reports are currently being finalized. Today, Australian leaders, including the Prime Minister, Premiers and Chief Ministers, met to once again reaffirm new lockdown procedures in an effort to contain the rapid spread of the virus, as well as discuss possible measures to effectively sustain the economy. However, in Queensland, the local government elections are proceeding. Measures have been taken to reduce the risks of these public gatherings, like flagging the state emergency services to help maintain physical distancing at poll booths, and the availability of the options to pre-vote or vote through the post. However, this is posed as a big concern for the general public, as well as medical professionals, who express that this decision is contrary to the efforts of encouraging the Queenslanders to stay in their homes. The government is now putting into place a business hibernation plan in which businesses will close their doors for the time being. This is an effort to reduce the possibility of the proprietors being burdened heavily by the possible rental payments and other liabilities that may come up in the next 6 months or so of this continuing pandemic. So for the further isolation measures for those arriving in Australia, these will be applied by midnight tomorrow. The Chief Medical Officer, Brendan Murphy, identified that 2/3 of the cases are from Australians who are returning home. The Health Protection Principal Committee then recommended measures to ensure that no transmission results from returning travelers. So from tomorrow, upon arrival to the country, in all states and territories, people will sign self-isolation cards and will be quarantined in hotels and other accommodation facilities for the 2 weeks of mandatory self-isolation. The Australian Defence Force will also be turned out to support the people's compliance with these measures. For now, the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, has encouraged Australians to do the right thing by following the new social distancing rules, and they're urging people to stay connected through the use of social media and phone calls. Indeed, the effort to slow down the spread of COVID-19 relies on the cooperation of the Australian people and the willingness to comply with the rapidly developing measures the Australian government is taking. That's all for now, Alma.
All right. Thank you very much. Patricia, you're a student. What are you doing now? No school? How do you keep yourself amused, educated, and all that?
Well, for now, all of the Australian universities at this point have reverted to online schooling. So lectures and workshops are all being held online. Thank goodness for programs such as Zoom, where we're able to actually do active participation in classes as well, and it's not just passive watching tutorials. So for now, Australian universities have adapted very well to transitioning into online study.
All right, thank you very much, Patricia. Keep the updates coming, and we'll be hearing from you these coming days. Thank you. Keep safe. Do take care.
Thank you so much. You too. This is Patricia Madronio from Gold Coast, Australia, and we live in interesting times.